Xiaomi is back with its brand new smartphone, the Mi 9, and this offers some incredible specs given the price point. I'm M Kwan, and in this video I'm going to share with you some of the key features and highlights of what the Mi 9 has to offer. But first, let's show you what we get inside the box. So inside the box, you're gonna get the usual array of goodies that we would come to expect from Xiaomi, including in this nice little container, a SIM ejector tool with a dongle. This is for the USB-C to 3.5mm headphone jack. There is no included headphone jack here, so that's something that you're going to need if you want to continue to use your wired headphones. You also, if you dig deeper, get a USB-C sync charge cable, power brick for charging your device. Now onto the phone itself. So here it is in the hand, the Xiaomi Mi 9 in all its glory. This particular model comes in the piano black color. It also comes in a few others, ocean blue, lavender violet. Xiaomi have said that they have created some kind of holographic effect, which probably will be more noticeable with those colors than it is with this piano black, but I still really dig this color. I think this color looks incredibly nice. Now in your hand, the first thing that you're going to notice is that 6.39-inch AMOLED display. It's got a 2340 by 1080 full HD plus resolution, and you know, the color vibrancy and the brightness range is absolutely incredible on this display. You're gonna really notice this when you're watching movies, watching YouTube videos. If you watch more of my videos on YouTube, you'll notice that to be the case, and also when playing games as well. Now on the display, you'll notice that you've got a slight lip down at the bottom, but then at the top you have the teardrop display. Behind that teardrop notch essentially is a front-facing camera. I'll talk about the cameras in a moment, but that camera can also be used to face unlock the device. The really weird thing here is that you have to change the region to something like India to be able to have those options available. Otherwise, it won't be there. But there is a fingerprint scanner underneath the AMOLED display. So the integrated fingerprint scanner works really well for the most part. I've had a couple of times when I've needed to move my finger around or actually physically look at the display. There are some cool graphics also to help you just enhance the fingerprint scanner element of it, which is really cool actually to be included in the settings. Now, as far as the device in the hand is concerned, you'll notice on the right hand side, you've got the volume rocker, you've got the power button. On the left, you have the Google Assistant button. That Google Assistant button is really annoying. I've clicked that by mistake a number of occasions. I wish that wasn't the case. The other thing is that you'll notice that you've got the middle sandwich between essentially two layers of glass, one on the front, one on the back, and in the hand it's comfortable, but the way that it tapers in on the sides, it just feels like it can slip out of your hand. And in fact, on two occasions when I was unboxing and setting up the Mi 9, that nearly happened to me. So remember the case that you get in the box? Yeah, I think that's going to come in incredibly handy. The battery life on the Mi 9 isn't bad. It does have a 3,300 milliamp hour battery. It would have been nicer to see more battery for this kind of device, but we have that particular battery size, and you'll be surprised because this has wireless charging right out of the box, and it does a very good job at that. Now, if I was just to take the brick charger that was included, I got a pretty much 80% charge in around about 45 minutes. But then after that, the charging speed actually dropped quite noticeably. But with a wireless charger, and I used one from another Xiaomi phone that I had, I was able to get 80% in around half an hour, so around 30 minutes, and I think that was a 10-watt charger. But the Mi 9 actually supports up to 20-watt charging, which could actually charge up the phone even quicker. Now, as far as power, it's powered by the brand new Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 processor. That's a new 7nm chipset with the AI, and it also comes, this particular model, with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of ROM. Now, the RAM and ROM sort of combination for this particular device was perfectly fine with my day-to-day use. I have no issues there whatsoever. So the Xiaomi Mi 9 has an interesting user interface, what Xiaomi are calling MIUI UI, which basically runs over the top of Android 9 Pie. It's smooth for the most part. I haven't had any issues. I don't mind the UI, to be honest. There are certain features in there like the dark mode, which you can access through the settings, which I think look pretty cool. But there are some oddities to it. One of them is the fact that the app icons aren't in a uniform shape. I don't know, it's perhaps the OCD in me that really kind of bugs me. For the most part, I don't have a problem with the UI. So let me take a moment to talk to you about the camera, because that's one of the killer key features on the Mi 9. The camera on the back, or the cameras rather, is a triple camera setup. You've got a 48 megapixel f1.75 wide angle, then a 16 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide, and then that's followed with a 12 megapixel f2.2 telephoto. All of those cameras combined to take some pretty incredible shots. Couple of things to note: in normal daylight shots, I didn't have a single problem whatsoever. I think they do a very good job, in fact. Particularly interesting is the 48 megapixel element. So if you go into settings, enable that, it takes some incredibly detailed shots. Zooming in just seems to continue to give you the detail that you would expect, particularly at this level. One of the other things to note is nighttime shots. I was actually quite impressed with the nighttime shots. As you can see in these images, there is a night mode. One of the things that you will have to note, however, is once you hit the shutter button, there is a slight time delay, and it's kind of odd because if you move the phone a little too much during that period, then you're going to get some really wacky, funky kind of images. But if you do it correctly, you are going to get some incredible nighttime shots with this camera setup. Also, the rear camera does record up to 4K. It's a little hard to get to because they're buried under the menu, but once you get there, you can enable that. I think the footage, as you can see from this example, is fine. You do have image stabilization. It's a little choppy in some parts and some areas, but one of the things to note is that it gets quite hot when filming in 4K. In fact, one of the other things that surprised me was that even playing games, after a certain time, the handset started to get quite hot around the edges. There's no effect in performance or but it's something that kind of did stand out for me when using the Mi 9. Now on the front, there's actually a 20 megapixel f2.0 selfie camera, as I mentioned earlier on, that can be also used for face unlock with the device. So what are my final thoughts with the Xiaomi Mi 9 now that I've had some time to use it? Well, here's the thing. I think Xiaomi is going to get more and more attention in the next coming months, particularly for this year, for 2019, because what they are offering is incredible bang per buck, price value for what they offer. The Mi 9, if you look at the spec sheet alone, offers an incredible amount. And if you're looking for a smartphone that's heavily centered around the camera, things like wireless charging, fast charging, fingerprint scanner, and good build quality to go with it, then I think the Mi 9 is going to offer a lot. Now, I haven't spoken about the price, but this base variant at 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage is going to set you back around about 1,700 dirhams, which is an incredible price to pay for a smartphone like this. There are a ton of other Android flagship smartphones that would be priced a lot higher than this, and that's one of the appeal of both the Mi 9 and Xiaomi. But ultimately, I'd love to know what you guys think, both of the device, the specs, what I've highlighted in the comment section down below. So please do that. Leave your comments. Let me know. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Whatever. And if you're new around here, be sure to smash that subscribe button and hit like to see more videos like this as they go live. My next video is going to feature the Redmi Note 7, so do stay tuned to the channel for that video. Until then, peace and blessings.